Okay, the 5 chord. You can see it right here. It's famous in rock and roll because it's the most ubiquitous chord. You'll also notice the middle finger can kind of make a comment at the crowd. But here's your root note, G, G, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, G. There's your 1, there's your 5. It's the 5 chord. I'm playing with a pick right now just to kind of give you a feel about how they do it with rock and roll. The shape is always the same. Well, there's a variation, we'll talk about it later, but the basic shape is your root note, down a string, over 2 frets. And I'm playing this on the E. You can also play it the next string down on the A string. Put your root down to the D strings, over 2 frets. But make sure you don't hit the open E string, because it's not part. It's just these 2 notes. Also play with your root on the D string, down a string into the G, over 2. You can see I'm all on the same fret there. You can do all sorts of stuff like that. Now, because of the tuning is different between the G and the B string, because it was on the 4th fret instead of the 5th, it doesn't work. However, you can stretch up 3 frets and it'll work. But generally, rock and roll, punk, grunge, pop music, it's all, you know. That's the basic format. Root, down a string, over 2 frets. But, just to confuse you a little, this is a G note, and this is a G note. D, E, F, G. So you could still take this G and the D above, and you have a inverted or flipped over 5 chord, and then you can go. And now you're just pressing down those 2 with 1 finger, you know. And that holds true, you know, on all these strings. You just have that inversion. But the basic sound you usually hear is the root note on top, down a string over 2 frets. But both of them are 5 chords. And the reason is they both have the same notes. G, D, G, D. It's the combination of the notes that makes it the 5 chord. It's not where you're, you know, particularly the shape. For instance, you have a D right here. And you have a G right there. Now, if you mute the 2 strings in between and hit these 2, that's G and D. Sorry. That's G. G and D. But that's a G and a D. It's a 5 chord. But because you got all these muted strings, it doesn't sound like much. So, for rock and roll, it's better to be up here. Or this tends to have a more forceful sound than the standard way, where it's up here, down a string, and over 2 frets. You know. You know, so it's just there's just all sorts of ways you can do it. Now, playing with your fingers, it's, you know, you just stroke your thumb on the 2 strings instead of pop songs and blues songs are like that. So if you learn that pattern, you can pretty well play along with most of your friends. Okay, work on it. It's also known as the power chord, the 5 chord, the power chord. They're the same thing.